Welcome to today's collective reading. This is Trinity Gaia Oracle. I would like to open today's reading with some resonance. So if you're sensitive to loud noises, feel free to skip ahead about 10 seconds or so. And I will begin now. This one really doesn't have much of a sound, but it is a vibration. It resonates at 136.1 hertz, and it's labeled as Om. So created a space for divine guidance, frequencies, higher elevation, guidance to come through and to open the intuition and the heart to the messages that may be present here within, synchronicities, questions. So, I've been guided to add a number to begin this with as well. So let's see what number we have here. Technically this is 9, but it landed inverted. So, we have 9, 4, which breaks to 4 again. So 13, 4, 2. So 9, 4, 4, and 2. 13 might be of significance as well. Now I've had a lot come in today, and I'm feeling that there's so much that's going to be coming through in the next couple of readings for the collective, but it's kind of like you've been in 9 of Wands. You've been enduring, and you've been going through the battle, and you're tired, and you're worn out, and you've finally gotten to that point where you've achieved what you set out to. You've got some kind of synchronicity, some kind of confirmation that you've arrived at the destination, and what hangs in the air and the energy is, what now? What now? Like you've been pushing, and there's suddenly no resistance. So it's like, well, if I don't have resistance, what do I want to do? I'm not pushing against this. What do I want to do with that? Question may be whether or not you feel like you don't know what to do without the challenge, the resonance, and if you're in this moment, it's because you're ready to answer that question, and very clearly quite a few in the collective. You're not just ready to answer that question. You already have the answer. You don't need to have the opposition, the opponent, the challenge to overcome the adversity, the dance of the victim mindhood, of the survivor and the thriver. You don't necessarily need that to be a part of your journey anymore, of how you relate to your world and yourself. So, what now? What now? Okay, well, I'll point out we have Spider that came out first, and then we have a Seahorse. I'm going to grab one more here for the power animals for the collective. The Strength in threes. 3, 6, 9, manifestation. Oop, 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 oop. That one flipped out upright. And then we have the crocodile. Ooh. All three of these will have something in them for you, even if you don't necessarily see it right now, even though you may very clearly identify more with one versus the other. So I'm going to bring this up to the camera so you guys can really see that beautiful artwork. There's so much symbolism in the art. So we have protection, aid, and wisdom. The thing I really like about this deck is if you take a moment and you pause the camera or the video and you read into the shamanic knowledge, it's all over the world. It's all over the world that they pull from, that they resonate from. You have like Aboriginal, you have Celtic, you have, sure there's a certain word for the area for the shamanic tradition, but you have like Africa and you have Russia. And you definitely have the States, but you also have like South America as well as North America. So it's about the human shamanic knowledge. Spider, there's a lot there with spider, and it's not necessarily like a bad or a good thing. It's about lessons, it's about learning, it's about overcoming. It's also about setting free. I know that some people have like a real fear when it comes to certain creatures such as spiders. Arachnophobia, right? The spider may actually be more scared of you than you are of the spider. So it's not necessarily the spider's fault if spider medicine, if you will, has been used as a means to attempt to interfere with your energy. And that may be for a collective, a subcategory in the collective, but it did need to come through for you guys. There's also a sense of steps towards the middle, steps towards the center of self, the fates, cutting ties, feeling of liberation. And then we have the seahorse. Make sure you get a good image there. It's so rich in symbolism. Art is such an amazing means to communicate. Strength, guidance, transformation, and feminine energy. Then we have crocodile. Opportunity, risk, fertility, and life. For the seahorse, what's really clearly being highlighted is how many new beginnings. When they give birth, they don't give birth to just one baby seahorse. They give birth to many. There's many, many, many new beginnings that you have been pregnant with, that have been in the works, that you have been kind of adding to, adjusting in the subconscious, conscious, and having your higher self come in and your team come in and help contribute. Those that have gone before you, those that are working beside you now, and those that are yet to come. All of this is been being created within you. Your intuition is very strong at this point as well. Trust that voice without sound. Even if you're not really confident in where exactly to step or the perfect words or whatever it may be, trust that when you do receive an intuitive nudge, a voice without sound, that perfection isn't what's expected. It's that you be willing to walk that path, that you honor that information. And the crocodile, capybaras might be a synchronicity as well. Because for some reason, crocodiles and capybaras, like you would think that the crocodile would be all about making a snack of that capybara, but they seem to be fine together. The crocodile has been watching, waiting, observing, and has been wanting to know how you will respond, how you will react to the challenges that have brought you to this sense of freedom, of liberation, where you're like, well, what now? What do I want to do with all of this strength and not just physical necessarily? Your discernment is so sharp, all these new beginnings. But how are you going to consciously contribute to creating that and the dance of that balance? I don't get the feel that it's predatory in nature in any way. They're not looking to make a snack of you. I think that if you do not identify yourself with being in more of a crocodile energy yourself, you may feel more like the capybara. You do not have to see this guidance or this energy as a challenge, but more as a guiding wisdom, a reflection, another way of looking at the very same situation from a different perspective. Because, like I said, the contrast between the capybara and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, and the crocodile is like, you'd think that one would be a snack for the other, but for whatever reason, like I've even seen images of the crocodile walking and the capybara is like right on their back, just along for the ride. They seem to be buds of some kind. So maybe a new way of looking at relating to this kind of reptile kind of energy is not necessarily adversary or scary in the unknown and all the projected assumptions that come along with that. It's your own journey. It's completely your own, and no one can judge you for that. It is personal, and it is private, and it is yours. Should you choose to share that, that is one thing, but otherwise, it's between you and the divine, and if this is how the divine right now is reaching out to you to help you be able to relate and understand and heal within yourself and in your relationship with divine, then hey, who's to say anything other than really anything about that? It is your personal relationship. Okay. Grab Moonology card here. I haven't been called to use this deck in a minute, so purely going off of that intuition. I know that there seems to be somewhat of an overarching theme of being willing to put the effort in to care for yourself, to give to self, so that you can be a participant in that bigger picture. You have to nurture yourself in order to keep yourself going forward. We have the full moon in Sagittarius. See the bigger picture. Now with these deserts, it reminds me a lot of a couple of the Chariot cards in a few of the decks that I have. And in one of them, it is checkered. So you're not restricted to just coloring within white or within the black checker squares. It's all the same to you. Just varying degrees of light and shadow on the sand. This has been something that you did aim for, and you have met your target. So now what? That might be the title. It'll be something in there, So you've arrived here, and what now? I'm going to grab from the NLP Oracle, Neuro-Linguistic Programming cards for mastering your reality. Kind of finding yourself stuck in a loop of thinking or resistance, or you feel kind of stagnant. You just kind of don't know how to kind of move yourself out of the state of cyclical thinking around it. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know. Could be a change in the words, possibly, that you use when you're aware of this. Okay, we have breathe to mastery. I think technically it's breath to mastery. But let me see this visual here, because there's just so much power in an image. So many words that could go into describing this image. A lot of what it is telling me is that the world is still, no matter how full and chaotic. You find your center in it. Before your mind can reset, your body must feel safe. Regulated breathing immediately signals your nervous system that you're not in danger, even if your thoughts are spiraling. This card encourages you to use your breath as a switchboard for your emotional state. That is powerful, very powerful, and incredibly true. The best way to do that, because I have quite the background in yoga and massage therapy and Reiki and whatnot, and meditation definitely. If you like a slow inhale and you just hold it for a second, and then a longer, slower exhale, and you just keep doing that, the key being that the exhale is a little bit longer, you will turn your nervous system from being in a sympathetic or fight or flight state into parasympathetic. And it may take some practice and some time, but as you get more proficient and you do it more often, 2, 3, 4 of these cycles of breathing, and you will feel a noticeable difference in your body. I'm also hearing it might be worthwhile to look into getting some chiropractic care. For some of you, there's certain vertebrae, if they're a little bit out of alignment, can make your vagus nerve a little more easily excited. So it could keep you in a heightened state of fight or flight. But I mean, definitely consult your doctor on that one. This is for entertainment purposes only, for legal reasons, but to give to yourself, to nurture your body, to give it every chance it possibly can to be able to heal itself. And moving out of fight or flight, it's going to be far more efficient in doing that. Like with the opening, with the concept of having this energy of being, Knight of Wands, PTSD, a little like worn and ragged on the other end of everything. Let's grab an Archangel card here for you guys, just so you kind of have an idea of who you may be, pairing up with in this particular moment in particular. Maybe kind of stepping forward to assist you a little more in this moment, if you're willing and receptive to work with the energy. We have the outdoors. Archangel Jophiel. Go outside, get some fresh air, and connect with nature to relieve stress and gain new creative ideas. I wanted to say like a concept of like identities, which is odd. It's probably a little more like identifying with the peace that you do find outdoors. There's a lot of science that actually suggests that we are in a happier, more natural state when we're in nature. That it acts as a natural antidepressant. It helps to yet again deactivate that fight or flight. So just a lot of support right now for you guys coming into this, saying you're safe. You're safe. You made it. Congratulations, you're here. And now the challenge is helping all of you to be aware that you are here. That you don't need to be hypervigilant spiritually. You've gone through that. You've liberated yourself. I mean, you did not do so alone. I mean, you have a lot of allies here, a lot of energies that come in. And even if nothing more, they're facets of the divine that have come forward for you to be able to work with, that are more symbolically strong in certain areas. Everything that we encounter, every animal, every pattern in nature that goes along with that natural rhythm, is a means through which the divine is expressing themselves, communicating with us. I have a feeling we need another archangel card here, so let's just see here, because they keep having me shuffle. Oh, okay, there we go. Patience. And I laugh because I'm like, oh my gosh, have I not been patient enough? And this is more about patience with yourself. Yet again, Jofiel, your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. This isn't about nurturing the manifestation or your dreams outside of yourself. At this point, it's feeding yourself, giving yourself water, spending time out in the sun, having that natural light, taking care of making sure that the soil you're in is rich in nutrients, so your diet, that you're getting enough time in the shade or resting enough. It's about balancing all of that and accepting yourself with patience where you are. In yoga, they tell you a lot when you begin. You have to work with your body where it is. To try to push it to be like it was when you were 10 years younger, you may actually end up doing more harm than good. So where does your body tell you this is the optimal amount of stretch to have the optimal amount of benefit? To go beyond it could actually set you back. To not bring it to that point, it'd be almost like a denying of like a stretch that feels so good. You know, like you just want to give it a little bit more and then it's just, it's perfect. Feels so good. And your whole body just kind of vibrates and then melts into it as you breathe. A lot about breath work and being present in your physical form. And as you kind of go through and you process a lot of the things and as you review what you went through in your path to this moment, you may begin to notice how your body remembers. So you'll feel tension in certain areas of your body when you think about a certain point. And you're like, oh, so that's where I'm storing that. Okay. So the fact that I'm thinking about this in this moment with the breath and the pose that I'm in that's causing the stretch, it's an opportunity to release that from that physical space in your body. A lot about healing self, giving yourself the same amount of love and attention and focus and energy that you gave to overcoming this obstacle and freeing yourself. Okay. I think I did that. Okay, they want me to read them in the inverted, but I guess, doesn't need to be perfect. I'm a little out of my comfort zone with reading them in the inverted. So what do we have coming here through for the major archetypes being highlighted at this time? You guys had a lot of support here. Okay, so we have catalyst, radical changes and taking control. Crystals, writing, Akash. You are the wise one. Trust yourself. See yourself. Take that wisdom that you attain, that knowledge, that strength. Also, the bumblebee just really popped out to me. So, pollinating, the sweeter stuff in life. Taking that same focus that you had towards overcoming this obstacle and turning it in towards yourself. It's not looking for Where's the deception? Where's the illusion? Where's the lie? How do I break free of this experience that seems to be tying me down? Now it's, all right, how am I able to liberate myself even more? How can I give to myself to be able to expand even more, to feel even more free? We have the orator, the inverted. This one is like about going within, knowing that has like fallen away. Definitely like Reaper, angel of death, but that's also the angel of creation, of life. There's the two sides of the same coin. What has fallen away has, been reaped or ended. And now what are we creating? What are we giving life to? What are we crowning? What are we speaking into being? Well, knowing the truth with this third eye here. Okay, can we have just one more, please, here? One more. All right, and then we have the musician. Resonance, sound, music. Be mindful of what you are listening to, what you're exposed to, the vibrations. Be it just like, oddly, for some reason, the vibration in the elevator as you go up and down. Those vibrations, you can feel them through your whole body. But where do you notice it the most? Spending time with healing music, meditation, definitely meditative music. Maybe playing an instrument, having an outlet, a creative outlet to express yourself. Definitely dancing. Oh my gosh, I'm getting trance dance. Like shamanic trance dancing. That could be huge. That could be very liberating. Dancing just in and of itself, getting that body moving, and the dance of it is inviting like that childlike, innocent, fun, playful side to kind of come to the forefront. And not judge yourself where you're at, but listen to your body. It's communicating to you where it hurts, where it's holding tension. Let it tell you. Let it tell you what it wants, what it needs. It's communicating all the time. And depending on where you are, too, with the breath work, you can even feel the vibration of your breath throughout your whole spine, the Kundalini energy. You add sound and resonance to that. And it could be a profoundly healing experience. Hearing, be gentle with yourself. If you're not really at a point where you feel physically comfortable with dancing, maybe you have like an injury, maybe you had knee surgery, or whatever it may be, that being upright and dancing just feels kind of compromising. It doesn't allow you to feel like you don't need to be a little more protective of yourself. So it's not actually helping in relieving that sense of fight or flight. You can sit in your chair and do like dances with your hands, or just kind of get lost in the music there. Like move your head around a little bit, It reminds me of my mom. I'm gonna be honest with you. She'd do this thing, we call it chair dancing. So it'd be like some commercial or something, and she would just start like just being a complete dork and dancing in her chair and like laughing, and it could be such an expression of joy and a celebration of life, that you are at a place where you can be in that state of happiness, and it'd be cool, it'd be okay. Yeah. All right, do we have anything specific? Wow, that just completely came right out. All right, so Saturn line. Now they're telling me I need to read this closer. However, I will highlight that this is 9 of Swords. Ooh, heavy, heavy, heavy. Okay. A lot of knowledge coming down in. A lot of knowledge. That last sword, that last truth is within you to bring it to the new beginning. Okay, so it indicates introverted lifestyle, liver stagnation. For health, it has the mood can be uncomfortable and the mental state needs adjustment. Ooh, so sassy. Saturn line is directly related to a person's emotions, vision, and liver. If the color is darker and more obvious, it indicates a decline in emotions and physical functions, a withdrawn personality, and fear, etc. So let's kind of leave this. Oh, I think I'm actually like counter doing what I want. There we go. Haha. Got it. Okay. So this is inverted. This could be something that was desired for you to struggle with, but you're now free of. Just feeling very countdown. Okay, we have rings of Venus. Ooh. Okay, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Oh my gosh, you guys remember that book? Oh my goodness. Okay, so you can kind of take a peek at your own hand and kind of see what they're pointing out there. And then I'll read this for you guys so you don't have to pause the video. I'll just do the analyze part. If the ring of Venus is clear and wavy, it means that you have good aesthetic ability, good artistic temperament, and are more persistent in feelings. Otherwise, it means that your emotions, impairment, and feelings are poor. So there's a feeling of almost depression that's kind of trying to come in and blanket you in this state because, you know, you've achieved this goal and now you're here and you're like, I don't know what to do. And it's going, hey, all you need to do is make the decision that you're not going to stagnate. How do you want to give to yourself now? How do you want to begin that routine, that process? You're very creative. It's very cautionary around the stagnation, internal reflection. The swords, it's about the element of air, knowledge. No one knows you like you. No one knows you like you. Okay. And then we have the Four of Cups, also about what's going on within you. The fate line is forked and extends to the base of the middle finger. We're pointing out specific lines here for you guys if you wanted to look at your own hand here while I read this. The fate line is forked and extends to the base of the middle finger and the base of the little finger. The middle finger and the little finger are longer. The wisdom line extends forward. There is clear wealth line of the palm. There are many vertical extensions lines in the palm. So this is if this were your hand. Because, I mean, maybe your fingers are of a different length. Maybe the shape of the lines is a little less defined on your own hand. But what it's pointing out is it might be worthwhile to look at how the intuition, the emotional aspect, the connection with the element of water and all that that means. Number synchronicity, 616. So that may have some specific meaning in numerology or angel numbers for you guys. If you feel called to, definitely check that out. That's going to have a synchronicity with that particular spot there. But how does this affect what you're creating? All those new beginnings, those baby seahorses. How will being stagnant and choosing to remain in this kind of like, well, I don't know what to do, so I'm going to do nothing because I don't know what to do. I'm so used to having something to fight and I don't have anything to fight. So what do I do now? And the phrase, I'm going to tell you this because I know it's kind of, at times it was quite irritating to hear, but as long as you keep putting one foot in front of the other, as long as you keep like, okay, well, I'm going to wash this dish and, because I just used it, I'm gonna wash this dish and another dish. So I'm always making some progress, some forward movement. That kind of a concept of always, no matter how small it may seem, that will begin to build momentum. And before you know it, maybe you're going to be in this patience card and you have this beautiful garden for yourself that you've nurtured and you've watched everything bloom, every flower grow and bloom. We had these two come out together, and then I'll pull an oracle to bring to a close here for you guys. Strong self-esteem likes to lead others, and the fame line. We have 4 of Wands and 6 of Swords. So this is a foundation. The foundation is set. It is strong. You are moving into calmer waters. This is just kind of that, shifting of gears, awkward moment. And that's perfectly normal, healthy, and okay, and honestly, needed. It's needed for you to have that moment so you can appreciate it's like the closing of the curtain and the reopening of the curtain. Act 1, Act 2. That's what this is. You guys, you have that solid foundation or you wouldn't have liberated yourself as you have. You are incredibly strong and you can give yourself some credit for that. It's kind of like nurturing and taking care of that, that prize stallion or that athletic racehorse that just won the, why am I hearing Jersey tournament? I'm not even sure those are the right words for that, the right names. The Jersey title, why am I hearing Jersey may be a synchronicity if that's the wrong name for the race. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that came from and why I'm not able to be confident in that. So I'm just going to trust spirit there. I'm going to trust my divine in that. Yeah, so let's grab you guys a closing oracle here. Haven't used this deck in a while, but there's a specific card that came to mind before I brought it out. So what a synchronicity if that comes out here for you guys. Be very powerful. And if not, maybe it's for one of the other readings. As I said, this is going to be a period that it just seems like there's so much to be said here, and it may be over a period of time. Maybe over a period of time. All right, what closing guidance would you like to give the collective here today? Oh, hey. Ooh, feeling the world. There may have been a time before overcoming this obstacle where that would have been completely overwhelming. And now it's like a reverent awe. And willing to release that struggle of needing to have the energy to overcome. Now it's about possibly inspiring others to. We have 13 came out earlier. At the very beginning, we have 13 and 4 and 9, which also, yeah, this is definitely divinely guided, these answers here, because if you go back to the beginning and you listen to those numbers and how they were brought through me to break down, these are very powerful messages. Spirit of gratitude, 43, 7, divine. Your crown is full bloom. And your intuition, your third eye is beginning to become more and more aware of exactly how much wisdom is present within that connection. Third eye. Having the confidence in that third eye, that intuition coming out, which was highlighted with the seahorse with that little droplet of water over the head here that I spoke to. So it's bringing the reading full circle, and it's number 36, 369, manifestation. And you have that star representing the crown chakra. This is definitely becoming more and more comfortable with everything that you see in the physical and in the spiritual, in the worlds that most maybe just don't seem to necessarily see, and yet discernment in what you receive and when to act, when to speak, when what you see is actually meant for you to act on in that moment. Sometimes a lot of what we see is information that's not necessarily meant to be acted upon, but it's to be informed. It's to help you organize the information so when you are called to act or to contribute or fulfill that contract with that soul that you encounter and say the right thing or say something, do something to interact with them, to help them go back on a path that is of higher good for everybody. And it could just be cracking a good joke. It doesn't need to be a heavy thing. Seeing the lighter things in life. Being childlike and innocent. Breaking up that stagnant energy for them. Flipping something from such a horrible negative to maybe something they get to be like, oh yeah, I really did have an experience like this, and now I could kind of be like, haha, helping people. It requires you to give to yourself, nurture yourself, take care of yourself, so that you can continue to perceive things in a balanced fashion and know that you're receiving that guidance from a higher power, source, that it's all based in love. Okay, well that really just kind of shifted. Okay, so they want me to highlight these two here for you guys. We have, no one wants to come out to you. Quieting of the mind, number 32, breaks to a 5. Broken open. The divine has been able to come in. That love has been able to come in because the wall around your being, your heart, your protectiveness, your defensiveness against source. The divine was able to reach your heart. This great big love. You made the conscious choice to open. It wasn't like it was done against your will. You chose to open, to trust, to move and flow. Let me just set these here. You chose this. And in reward for that love and that trust, you're getting to experience this great big love. The divine has been listening with all of them to every vibration that could come through. Every need that you had in order to feel confident in your ability to own that you are connected. That you are intuitive. 33, mastery. We have 2 10s out here. We have 28 and 37 here. You are connected. You're not alone. And if you're feeling like you're in hermit mode right now and you're isolated and there's like nobody you could talk to about this, it is known that you are a creature as you were designed. A human being is designed. Everything, nothing is a mistake. We were designed as human beings. We need to have social interaction. We need to have community to be healthy. So that's what this is, like a confirmation that what you need is going to come. That trust is honored. It's humbling. And if you don't necessarily have the words to express what it is you feel that you need, your heart is calling for it. Your subconscious is heard. Your heart is heard. Your higher self is heard. And it's all coming together in this divine plan, because there's so many moving parts. It's just humbling how many moving parts there are. It's all there to help everything be there for you to know that in allowing your heart to heal, and allowing the divine in and trusting, even when, you felt you lost everything else possibly. You know that as a result of this, no matter what, you always have that connection with Source. And in reaching for that and giving that love to Source, instead of closing off and turning basically like on yourself, that this great big love is now present because it's co-created. You are contributing without expectation, if nothing more than just presence and awareness. The comfort of knowing that you're communicating with an intelligence, a being that is beyond our ability to really fully comprehend how much love is present within it, and not go, I want this, 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 this. All you want is just to be in presence and share in that affection, that companionship, that love. That is why this is here. That is why this is here. Beautiful. All right. Well, that closing oracle stuff took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but just so beautiful. It needed to come through, you guys. You are so loved, and it's time to give to yourself so you can continue to give to others. To help yourself move out of fight or flight and become acquainted with what it is to be in parasympathetic again, to know what that feels like. Yeah. All right, well, please do like, share, comment, subscribe. If you wanted to donate, there's a link down below to my Cash App. Every time you like, or you even own that you're watching this, because I know that people have ways, you're adding your ripple. You're adding that karmic, like, I am saying that this helped me and I hope that it helps other people. You're adding that sense of community, that interconnection, and that begins to build momentum. It's a pay it forward thing. And it comes back to you in ways that are completely shocking and surprising. Because this is everything. This is everything. Everything comes from this. And giving to this, owning this, allows for more of it to come in. You're creating more space for that. So if you encounter, another reading, someone else where like they have those, oh my gosh, those specific and perfect was trying to come out at the same time. Words that just, like, they just fit for you, like adding your, acknowledgement of that adds momentum. We're doing this as a collective. It's not just about one facet or one corner or one person or one way. There are so many ways of being in relationship with this being, and yours is unique. So congratulations on freeing yourself. Your next project is on really nurturing yourself now. That's an awesome project. So take that deep breath if you feel like you're a bit in stagnation, and be like, okay, well, where do I want to begin? And it's okay if it's just one little thing, and I'll begin to build from there. So the divine within me honors, sees the divine within you. The love within me honors and sees the love within you. Namaste.